Hey y'all, I'm back with my top 10 books of 2023, and I'm also going to go over some of my reading goals for 2024. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share my channel, and subscribe. I can't wait to tell y'all what my favorite book of 2023 was. So, of course, let's get right into the list, starting with number 10. Book number 10 is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I will say this was one of my favorite YA fantasy reads. I love that this book really drew me in. It's just the creativity. And I actually went and read the second book in this series. Lets me know that the first book was really good. So I have this book at book number 10. Book number 9 was Fairest by Marissa Meyer. This is a part of the Lunar Chronicles series. I read all of the books in that series, and Fairest was my favorite one. It was told from the perspective of Queen Lavanna and her rise to evilness, being the evil queen of Lunar. So I really enjoyed this book. Book number 8 is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This book was such an emotional read for me. This book was definitely giving the R. Kelly story, but I still thought it was really good and it made it to my top 10 list. Number 7 is Delicious Monsters by Liselle Sambury. It was given haunted house realness and I loved everything about it, and I cannot wait to read her next thriller this year. Book number 6 is Don't Cry For Me by Daniel Black. It's another one of those emotional reads about a father on his dying bed recanting his life and the mistakes that he made with his gay son. It really drew me in and I really enjoyed this book. Now we're at the top 5 books of 2023. Book number 5 is Hold You Down by Tracy Brown. Y'all, this is an urban fiction book that I did not expect to enjoy as much as I did, but it also had me crying. I was at my job ugly crying as I was listening to this book, but this book really drew me in, about two sisters trying to make it and the ups and downs that came with that, the traumatic experiences and how that affected these women and their sons. Book number 4 is Yellow Wife by Sadeqa Johnson. I really enjoyed learning about these very fair-skinned wives of these prominent white men during this time. Very interesting historical fiction story. Book number 3, y'all, a romance has entered the list. Book number 3 is Wild Sweet Love by Beverly Jenkins. Y'all, I love me some Teresa July, and her and Madison just had this steamy bickering romance going on. This book gave me all the romantic feels, and it was really the only book that gave me the romantic feels in the year 2023. We are down to the top 2 books. My second favorite book of 2023 is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney. Shout out to Leland for recommending this book. I enjoyed this book so much. I loved everything about this book. It was giving black girl magic, black boy joy, 2 black kids really figuring out life and dealing with some of those things that are hindering them from being the best that they can be. I absolutely love this book and cannot wait to read more by Joya. My favorite book of 2023 is House of Eve by Sadeqa Johnson. I absolutely knew that this book would be my favorite book of 2023 when reading this book just had me so shook. I loved everything about it. The ride of reading about these 2 black women during this period of time. I just love this book, y'all. I can't believe 2 historical fiction books, technically 3 if we throw in the historical romance. 3 historical books made it to my top 5 books of 2023. Those are the top 10 books that I enjoyed in 2023. Let's get into some of my reading goals. I read a total of 53 books in the year of 2023, and my Goodreads goal was 50. So this year I'm bumping it up to 55. I wanted to give myself a boost because it's been 50 for so long. So I'm going to just go up to 55, and maybe I'll do 60 for 2025. Another goal of mine is to read more literary fiction. I want to read more books by those famous Black authors such as Neil Hurston, reading more Toni Morrison and Alice Walker. Another goal of mine is to stay up to date. I noticed some of the books that I read that came out in 2019, 2020. I was proud of myself that I was on it with The Fourth Wing and The Iron Flame. I literally read Iron Flame the week it came out, and I was proud of myself for that. So I do want to stay tuned to more new releases and books I'm interested in, and staying on the books that are trending. The more goals I have is I want to participate in more book club discussions, because I just love talking about books. I also want to read more books I'm drawn to. There's certain times where there's like a title, a cover. Because I don't read the back of the book, the cover is really drawing me, and sometimes I look at that Goodreads or Amazon rating, and if it's not like 4.5 and up, I'm kind of like, do I want to waste my time reading it? But I want to give those books a chance anyway, just because I'm drawn to the title, to the cover. And so I just want to not like overthink it. And just when I'm drawn to a book, go ahead, get it, read it. Another goal of mine is I want to find my romance author go-to. I feel like the reason I was in a romantic book slump in 2023 is because I really don't have that favorite romantic author that I know for sure I'm going to read their book and it's going to give me everything. I feel like Beverly Jenkins is close, but I'm just not the biggest historical romance person. I would love it to be more contemporary romance. And so I just need to maybe journey through some different romantic subgenres and see what I like and who could be that author that really just gives me what I'm looking for. Another book goal is to just stay up to date with my favorite authors. Like if Tiffany D. Jackson has a new book coming out, stay on it, and when that book releases, get on it. Liselle Sambury has a book coming out in a few months that I really want to get into, so maybe even getting into pre-orders and being ready when those books come out so that I can stay on trend like I mentioned before. My last reading goal is to get my mama back reading, y'all. My mama is my reason for reading. She started me reading at a very young age, and Miss Thing hasn't been reading as much as she used to. So my goal is to get my mama to be reading some of these books with me, her and my aunts. If I could get one person who always is like, Kim, I love watching your videos, but I don't have time to read. I just want one person in the year 2024 to tell me, Kim, I picked up a book and started reading because of you. That would just make my heart just melt, sing, and make me feel like what I'm doing is really touching somebody and evoking people to really read some of these amazing books. Get down in those comments and let me know what your favorite book of 2023 was, and also let me know what are your reading goals for 2024. Thank you again for tuning in to a Books with Kimberly video.